In a fairly old school, a stern voice of a man suddenly rang out, "Dear students, after 3 years of studying, we have all mastered the knowledge of extraordinary abilities." In the school courtyard, a magic circle had been set up in preparation for immediate use. Many students gathered together, each listening carefully and attentively. The stern voice of a man continued to resonate. It turned out that the speaker was the principal of Xi High DE School, Mr. Rukon. "Today is the time for you to awaken latent abilities, which will also determine your future life." This was a very important moment for every student present, so Principal Ryuk-an continued to encourage. "I won't talk nonsense anymore. I hope you all can reach the heights like So Cheon-seon, become the pillar of our human race." The person mentioned by Principal Ryuk-an was So Cheon-seon, a level 80 holy mage. So Cheon-seon exuded a powerful yet mysterious golden aura. After listening to all the things Principal Ryuk-an had just said, the faces of all the students there immediately became very serious. Even our main character, Rim Jang-yuk, is no exception. Just by looking at the magic circle in front of him, Jang-yuk could already guess its purpose. It was a magic circle to awaken latent abilities. Suddenly, in Jang-yuk's mind, memories of the past resurfaced. "My name is Jang-yuk. I have been in this world for so many years, finally waiting for the day to awaken latent abilities." This world combines with a game, not only existing many dungeons, mysteries, but also many monsters. In the underground of a desolate mountain, there appeared a mysterious gate. The interesting thing is that the gate is not only unique in shape, but also emits a spiraling and sparkling green light. Thanks to Jang-yuk's thoughts, we can explore a deeper insight into the laws of operation of this world. Extraordinary abilities, after awakened latent abilities, can be obtained by attacking dungeons, mysteries, killing monsters to gain experience for leveling up and enhancing skills to increase one's strength. After determining their talent in which field of power, the people in this world will continuously fight to enhance their own strength. Through Jang-yuk's thoughts, we only know how cruel the world has been through to achieve the happiness of the present. Countless monsters have been killed to create a survival space for humans so we can have our peaceful lives today, thanks to that great sacrifice. Now humans can change their dark lives, constantly developing to reach the life at this moment. However, not all extraordinary abilities are the same. Each type has its own unique characteristics. The most popular in this world are the leadership type of extraordinary abilities. Those who belong to this type are extremely powerful and will be most loved and respected by everyone. The last support type is ranked last in the hierarchy and be divided into 5 levels in Legend: low level, mid level, high level, rare level, and finally, legendary level. The more he thought, Jang-yuk's eyebrows suddenly furrowed, his whole face filled with seriousness. Extraordinary abilities are legendary. The city of Xi High has not been able to produce one in 10 years. Suddenly, the voice of Principal Ryuk-an rang out, solemnly announcing, "Magic Circle Extraordinary Abilities Activate." After the magic circle was mentioned, meticulously prepared, it immediately lit up to determine the fate of the students there. A boy with blonde hair suddenly approached Jang-yuk, lightly patting his shoulder and asking, "Jang-yuk, what do you want to awaken latent abilities into extraordinary abilities the most?" This was Ko Yang, Jang-yuk's classmate. Jang-yuk didn't react to Ko Yang's shoulder pat, just looking at him. Knowing that no matter how long he waited, Jang-yuk wouldn't say anything, Ko Yang spoke up, "Just say it. It doesn't matter." Ko Yang smiled and continued to say to Rim Jang-yuk, "I want to awaken latent abilities into a knight the most. Look at my build. Awakening latent abilities into a knight would surely be majestic. Then I can protect my sisters. Your and Seolni's achievements are good, so maybe you can awaken latent abilities into extraordinary abilities too." When others see Ko Yang talking intimately with Jang-yuk like that, they immediately pull him back and try to advise. "Ko Yang, why bother talking to that arrogant guy? He can't even answer. Maybe today can only awaken latent abilities into extraordinary ability support." Another person overhearing also chimed in to express their opinion. "That's right, just a little achievement is nothing to be arrogant about." Ko Yang did not listen to the hungry people as he raised his hand to pat the hair on his forehead and replied, "Don't say that. Actually, Jang-yuk just doesn't like to talk." On this side, Principal Ryuk-an was smiling happily to the point of squinting his eyes while gratefully thanking the senior master at level 52, Jang Qian. "Master Qian, I am bothering you today." Master Jang Qian, hearing Principal Ryuk-an's solemnity, quickly replied, "It's what should be done." Jang-yuk was standing watching Master Jang Qian. His originally indifferent face to everyone became extremely surprised. His eyes widened unbelievably. That old man is also a master of Magic Circle. This is a rare high-level extraordinary abilities support. After expressing his appreciation, Principal Ryuk-an immediately picked up the microphone to look at the list in his hand and announce, "Next, if I call the name of a student, that student will enter the Magic Circle Extraordinary Abilities." After finishing his sentence, Principal Ryuk-un immediately called out the name of the first person, Seo Dal. Upon hearing his name, student Seo Dal immediately stepped forward into the Magic Circle extraordinary abilities, standing in the center of the Magic Circle. In that moment, the blue stone suddenly lit up, followed by instant golden lights continuously appearing and circling around. Then a notification appeared. Seo Dal has successfully awakened latent abilities and achieved extraordinary abilities type support for farmers. Seo Dal was so shocked that he couldn't stop scratching his head, screaming continuously in disbelief at his own extraordinary abilities as a farmer. Onlookers couldn't help but gossip about Seo Dal's awakening of latent abilities as a farmer. While Seo Dal felt utterly useless with his extraordinary abilities, others thought differently. They discussed how being a farmer was not so bad and even considered the possibility of him becoming a great farmer or even a saintly farmer. Some even commented that being a farmer in the category of extraordinary abilities was quite decent. As soon as one person finished speaking, another quickly chimed in, agreeing that being a farmer in extraordinary abilities wasn't bad at all. Next, another person stepped into the magic circle of extraordinary abilities. Upon hearing that he had achieved the category of a chef as a support extraordinary ability, his face lit up with joy. My father is a chef, and I never thought I could become one too. It's like I'm following in my father's footsteps. After that, the other students took turns moving forward. Meanwhile, Master Jang Xian, who was standing by, suddenly remarked, "This year's students are quite ordinary." Principal Ryuk-un, standing beside him, became more serious upon hearing those words. His eyebrows furrowed as he replied, "Indeed, so far there hasn't been any rare, extraordinary abilities yet." As Principal Ryuk-un finished speaking, Master Jang Xian's voice was heard again. "Talking about rare, extraordinary abilities, our school has not produced any rare, extraordinary abilities for years. Even if a high-level leadership extraordinary abilities were to emerge, it wouldn't be bad." Principal Ryuk-un, holding the list in his hand, turned to smile and agree. Yes, every year, the city of Xi High only produces one or two rare, extraordinary abilities. My hopes are too far-fetched. After the conversation, Principal Ryuk-un called out the next student. Next, Haseol Nai. This time, a girl with beautiful long black hair and a proud face stepped towards the magic circle. Seol Ni, while walking, stroked her hair arrogantly and said, "Jang Yuk, I will show you who the real genius is." Jang Yuk, mentioned by Seol Nai, remained indifferent, not caring about what she had just said. Seeing Jang Yuk silent and casually observing everything, Seol Nai determined, "Although we are both considered geniuses in the school, you are always one step ahead of me. This time, I will not lose." Master Jang Xian merely glanced at Seol Ni and was instantly astonished, unable to restrain himself from exclaiming, "This girl is not bad." Principal Ryuk-un, standing next to him, didn't understand what was happening and asked in confusion, "Why do you say that, Master Qian?" Hearing Principal Ryuk-un's question, Master Jang Xian immediately explained, "A spiritual power of this girl is twice as strong as that of an average person. She might awaken latent abilities and become a mage." Hearing every word Master Jang Xian had just spoken, Principal Ryuk-un also became extremely surprised. He turned and exclaimed, "A mage? That's a high-level extraordinary ability among leaders. If it's a special type of mage, it could be an exceedingly rare extraordinary ability." Meanwhile, Seol Nai did not stop walking due to the conversation between Master Jang Xian and Principal Ryuk-un. She stepped straight into the center of the magic circle. As soon as Seol Ni approached, the previously normal scene suddenly experienced a strange phenomenon. A powerful aura surrounded Seol Ni, and explosions erupted continuously above her head. Even Master Jang Xian and Principal Ryuk-un were greatly surprised by the recent event, exclaiming that the appearance of the rare phenomenon of extraordinary abilities was unexpected. Various colorful streams of power constantly surrounded Seol Ni, notably the red of fire and the brown of earth, followed by the announcement that Seol Nai had successfully awakened latent abilities and received the extraordinary abilities of elemental leadership. This was a rare extraordinary abilities, and the students witnessing it couldn't help but express their admiration and respect, saying, "Wow, Seol Nai is amazing, have rare extraordinary abilities of leadership." Different voices continued to praise, saying elemental sorcerers are incredibly powerful. It is said that after leveling up, a sorcerer's divine level arcane power can sweep through the city of Xi High, truly a genius living up to one's reputation. Even Master Jang Xian had to praise Seol Ni, saying, "Girl, well done." As Seol Nai was about to return to her place, she quickly bowed respectfully in response to the praise, saying, "Thank you for the compliment, senior." Interestingly, even the stern Principal Ryuk-an was extremely happy, smiling so much that his eyes squinted. The moment Seolnae rejoined the other students, everyone immediately gathered around her, smiling and praising her. Seolnae, you're amazing. A rare leader type, extraordinary ability. That's something beyond the ordinary. Another girl chimed in, this time, you could definitely surpass that in Moing Rim Janguk. Seolnae, who was initially overjoyed having acquired a rare, extraordinary ability, calmed down upon hearing the name Rim Janguk. She remembered there was someone who always overshadowed her. At that moment, the stern voice of Principal Ryuk-an rang out, calling, next, Rim Janguk. Our protagonist, upon hearing his name, remained utterly composed. With his hands in his pockets, he confidently walked towards the magic circle. Seolnae, who was being celebrated by everyone, watched Janguk as he passed by and gave him a disdainful smile. She was confident that Janguk could not achieve an extraordinary ability greater than hers. After calling Janguk's name, Principal Ryuk-un quickly turned to Master Jang Cheon beside him and asked, what do you think of this boy? Master Jang Cheon, after careful consideration, replied, apart from his extremely indifferent demeanor, there's nothing remarkable about him. Principal Ryuk-un, after hearing this, smiled and said, our school has two geniuses. Seolnae was ranked second, and Jangyu here is the top student. Master Jang Cheon replied, academic achievements and awakening latent abilities aren't necessarily related. You understand this principle, don't you? Principal Ryuk-un thought to himself as he watched Jangyuk's retreating figure, if Jangyuk also has a rare, extraordinary ability then. As soon as Janguk stepped into the magic circle, it activated and a phenomenon even more extraordinary than Seolnae's occurred, both mysterious and dangerous. Around Janguk appeared a dark red light rising to a mesmerizing purple. It looked as if the gates of hell had opened right there on Earth. On that day, the sky, which had been perfectly calm and beautiful, suddenly filled with dark clouds and a fierce whirlwind threatened to sweep everything away. In the center were continuous bolts of lightning, poised to strike. Everyone present, witnessing the terrifying scene, was both bewildered and shocked, exclaiming, what's happening? Why is it so windy? Look, the sky is filled with dark clouds, and it wasn't supposed to rain. This wind is so eerie and cold. Even Principal Ryuk-un, who had experienced countless upheavals, was taken aback. He looked up at the sky with wide eyes and asked, what is this? Master Jang Cheon, on the other hand, remained much calmer, though his usually gentle smile was replaced by a serious expression as he observed the chaotic sea before him. He said, this is an abnormal phenomenon. Upon hearing this, Principal Ryuk-un couldn't help but exclaim, an abnormal phenomenon for awakening latent abilities. Immediately, Principal Ryuk-un began to consider carefully an abnormal phenomenon of this magnitude for awakening latent abilities. Could it be a rare, extraordinary ability, either a leader type or a support type? Seolnae, witnessing the chaos caused by Jangyuk, couldn't help but console herself. No way, I won't lose to you. Despite her reluctance, Seolnae had to admit one thing. This phenomenon is far more intense than when I awakened my latent abilities. Suddenly, someone shouted and pointed straight at the sky. Look, everyone, there's something happening in the dark clouds. As the clouds gather, they reveal a hole in the center, allowing those present to finally see what it was. Inside is an army with an uncountable number, each skeleton riding on their own bolt of lightning. Someone witnessing this becomes extremely frightened and falls to the ground stuttering. Skeletons, all in the dark clouds, are dry bones. After the whole army of dry bones appeared, a huge bright blue bolt of lightning struck straight down to where Jangyu was standing. Seolnae, who was confident that she could still overcome Janguk, when seeing these things, felt scared. Clearly this is a hallucination, but cannot confront that around Jangyu were countless blue bright flashes with faces of continuous long heads. Then a message appeared. Jangyu has successfully awakened latent abilities and achieved extraordinary abilities, a type of leadership, magic necromancer, the unique hidden extraordinary abilities. Looking at the very strange blue flame in his hand, Janguk thought to himself, hidden extraordinary abilities are unique extraordinary abilities, meaning the whole world only has one magic necromancer, which is him. This is the extraordinary abilities with a great source of power that only Janguk possesses. Unless Jangyu dies, there will be no second person with extraordinary abilities like Janguk. The unique hidden extraordinary abilities are not only rare, but also extremely scarce, even rarer than legendary extraordinary abilities. After Janguk awakened latent abilities, people continued to talk excitedly, even more so than when Seolnae awakened latent abilities. Janguk is really amazing, but awakened latent abilities turn into hidden extraordinary abilities, and it's the only hidden extraordinary abilities. How lucky is that? Could it be a mistake in the magic circle? If there are fans, there will always be jealous people. Hidden extraordinary abilities may not be strong. In history, there have been many with hidden extraordinary abilities, and nothing special happened. Some believe that Jang Yuk simply received different extraordinary abilities from others. Hidden extraordinary abilities are just extremely rare, not necessarily powerful. Everyone kept discussing Jang Yuk and his hidden extraordinary abilities, but the terrifying phenomenon earlier and his extraordinary abilities as a magic necromancer. Does it have something to do with the dead? He never talks. Connecting with the dead isn't that strange. No need for conversation. Being mocked and talked about by everyone didn't affect Jang Yuk's thoughts. His unique hidden extraordinary abilities exceeded his expectations. When Jang Yuk was walking back to his place, Master Zhang Qian came up to him and called out, "This student, please wait a moment." Jang Yuk saw Master Zhang Qian and greeted him respectfully, saying, "What instructions do you have, senior?" Upon hearing Jang Yuk mention his latent abilities turning into extraordinary abilities, Master Zhang Qian, curious, asked if he could demonstrate his skills. Without hesitation, Jang Yuk agreed, saying, "Please wait a moment." Immediately, a notification board displaying Jang Yuk's information and skills appeared. Jang Yuk raised his hand and summoned a blue flame, expanding with immense strength and pressure, surprising everyone. Seeing the flame in his hand, Jang Yuk thought to himself, "My spiritual power must be stronger than the representative magic necromancer of the extraordinary ability sorcerer. The summoning skills of the Scale-Tongue warrior seem to belong to the extraordinary ability summoner." Once he gathered enough power, Jang Yuk commanded, "Summon Scale-Tongue warrior." As soon as he finished speaking, Jang Yuk's spiritual power decreased by 10. Immediately, a skeleton warrior appeared, holding a sword in its hand. It was a black iron skeleton warrior with all stats of strength, agility, spiritual attacks, and physical attributes at 15. Everyone was shocked and terrified when they saw the skeleton appear as Jang Yuk had summoned it. Wow, Jang Yuk has summoned a skeleton from the dark clouds, this time for real. Master Zhang Qian suddenly raised his hand to summon a beam of light towards the skeleton. When attacked, the skeleton revealed a menacing look towards the opponent and asked Jang Yuk, "Skeleton warrior under attack, retaliate or not within 10 seconds, otherwise will automatically retaliate." Seeing the summoned skeleton about to charge towards Master Zhang Qian, Jang Yuk quickly raised his hand to stop it. "Do not attack." Master Zhang Qian, instead of being scared, smiled and praised Jang Yuk, very cautious. Master Zhang Qian looked at the skeleton behind Jang Yuk and thought to himself, "The old man is an extraordinary abilities level 52, while Jang Yuk is only level 1. The summoned creature is showing hostility towards me. However, its attributes are normal, with Jang Yuk being only level 1 and not yet revealing his strong, extraordinary abilities. Perhaps as he levels up, this skeleton will become more powerful." Upon hearing that, Master Zhang Qian immediately raised his hand to both greet Jang Yuk and cheer him on. "Thank you. Keep striving. Perhaps there will be achievements in the future." Upon hearing those words from Master Zhang Qian, Jang Yuk immediately bowed respectfully. Then, Jang Yuk turned and walked away, followed by the skeleton warrior behind him. Everyone seeing this all simultaneously stepped back to open a path for Jang Yuk. Ko Yang, seeing Jang Yuk return, eagerly approached and asked curiously, "Jang Yuk, can I touch it?" Seeing Ko Yang's desire to touch the skeleton warrior, Jang Yuk nodded in agreement. Ko Yang continuously touched the bone structure in front of him and commented, "This skeleton is cool." Jang Yuk, upon hearing this question, looked towards the skeleton warrior without hesitation and replied, "It's probably cooler than you." Upon hearing Jang Yuk say that, Ko Yang felt a bit incredulous. "Really? I find it hard to believe. It looks pretty worn out." As Jang Yuk and Ko Yang were chatting, the voice of Principal Ryuk-un rang out, addressing Ko Yang next. "Ko Yang." Upon hearing his name, Ko Yang hurriedly ran off, but not without turning back to tell Jang Yuk, "I will go awaken latent abilities and then come back to talk." Watching Ko Yang's figure depart, Jang Yuk raised his hand and silently thought, "Return." Immediately after, the skeleton warrior transformed into a dark green light and disappeared. In that moment, a notification appeared in front of Jang Yuk. The skeleton warrior that Jang Yuk owned had become number 1. After reading, Jang Yuk felt extremely amazed and understood one thing. It turns out, spatial summoning can be used to summon items and can be summoned at any time without the need to spend spiritual power, and the capacity will increase according to one's level upgrade. Thinking of this, Jang Yuk's face became serious. Jang Yuk immediately remembered what he saw when standing in the magic circle Awaken Latent Abilities. Just now, during Awaken Latent Abilities, it seemed like he saw the magic necromancer. That image still lingered in Jang Yuk's mind. The mage had quickly defeated a dragon. The more Jang Yuk remembered that scene, the more determined he was that one day he would also be able to reach the level of killing dragons in the blink of an eye. After Ko Yang awakened his latent abilities, he achieved the extraordinary abilities he desired. He was now a high-level leader, a knight skilled in swordsmanship. Ko Yang ran to Jang Yuk, smiling happily, raised his thumb towards himself and said, "See, I told you I could awaken my latent abilities to become a knight. In the future, when we fight the boss, I'll stand in front of you. If you want to kill me, you'll have to step over your own courts, ha ha ha." Jang Yuk couldn't help but sigh and replied, "You got it all wrong." Ko Yang was ecstatic and retorted, "Finally, you opened your mouth to talk. I purposely said the wrong thing. You didn't notice, did you?" The Awakened Latent Abilities session at Kathai High DE School had ended. Principal Ryuk-an stood in front of all the students, cheering them on and announcing, "No matter what extraordinary abilities you awakened, the school will arrange a place of promotion for you. The Awakened Latent Abilities session has ended, and tomorrow the boss upgrade for new players in Kathai High City will also open. I hope everyone will strive to level up, achieve good results in the final exam in a week, and fulfill your dream of entering a top university." After Principal Ryuk-an finished speaking, each student left in turn, group by group. Jang Yuk did the same, with Ko Yang still talking nonstop by his side. However, this did not affect what Jang Yuk was thinking. The monsters in the upgrade dungeon for beginners will gather from level 1 to level 8. Not many in number, very low difficulty, safer than going outdoors. Behind them, Seol Nai was chasing after Jang Yuk. When she was close, Seol Nai shouted, "Rim Jang Yuk, wait." When Jang Yuk stopped and turned around, Seol Nai clenched her fists vigorously and challenged Jang Yuk. "Jang Yuk, I want to compete with you. Let's see who has a better end-of-term performance. Dare to compete?" Even Ko Yang, next to Jang Yuk, was extremely surprised to see Seol Nai's determination. In contrast to Ko Yang, Jang Yuk looked at Seol Nai with determination. Jang Yuk only muttered a reluctant "oh." After that, he ignored everything and continued walking, leaving Seol Nai behind, still ranting, "Decision made. I won't lose to you forever." Seol Nai harbored a huge determination in her heart. "I must defeat Jang Yuk, even though I lost to awaken latent abilities today, but I won't accept defeat." After our main character returned home, Jang Yuk immediately picked up the picture frame to look at. The photo contained a very peaceful and happy scene. Jang Yuk in the picture was smiling happily, completely different from his current cold demeanor, looking at his kind grandmother from his prosperous past. Jang Yuk silently said to himself, "Grandma, I have successfully awakened my latent abilities, extraordinary abilities hidden of a super rare level." Then Jang Yuk looked at his older sister. Jang Yuk immediately made up his mind. "Sister, wait for me. I will also enroll in Xiaojing Academy." As Jang Yuk was lost in his own thoughts, suddenly the sound of knocking on the door rang out. "Knock, knock." Jang Yuk quickly went to open the door to see who it was. As the door opened, Jang Yuk felt very surprised to see that it was Headmaster Ryuk-an. When Headmaster Ryuk-an saw Jang Yuk open the door before he even asked why he had come, he immediately said, "Jang Yuk, take these support supplies before you go." Looking at Jang Yuk in front of him, Principal Ryuk-an immediately remembered Jang Yuk's older sister. She was a very strong girl who could use 2 swords at the same time to fight. Last year in Kathai High City, only Jang Yuk's sister passed the entrance exam for Xiaojing Academy. Before, he had agreed with her that she had to take good care of her younger brother for her to be allowed to enter Xiaojing. He had to keep his promise. That's what he promised to do. Principal Ryuk-an cared a lot for Jang Yuk and handed him a bag of support. Jang Yuk took it and said, "Thank you, sir." After seeing Jang Yuk took the bag, the principal did not stay but left immediately, saying goodbye to Jang Yuk but reminding him, "You have to report for duty tomorrow. Rest well." At night, suddenly in front of Jang Yuk appeared a very strange notification board. System loading. Jang Yuk was extremely confused when he saw it, not knowing what to do. Why is this happening suddenly? Then, another notification appeared in front of Jang Yuk. Check out the Awakened Host Extraordinary Abilities Magic Necromancer. Extraordinary abilities suitable for the system's requirements for the strongest talent currently locked. Just return the result, no explanation needed, nothing else. No useless quotation marks or punctuation unless necessary. Seeing that notification, Jang Yuk's cold face couldn't hold back anymore. Jang Yuk opened his eyes wide to read each word on the notification board clearly. And then that notification continued to change. Start to extract the origin of the world. Completed skill optimization. Congratulations to the host for awakening the unique god-level talent. Comprehensive increase of level 1. Congratulations to the host for acquiring the passive skill damage transfer. Not stopping there, Jang Yuk received another notification. Passive skill damage transfer. Comprehensive level 1 effect. All skill effects are increased by 5 times. Damage effects. All damage received by the mage himself is taken by the summoner. Seeing the constantly changing notifications in front of him, Jang Yuk was extremely happy. His face lit up, adding another talent and passive skill. This effect is truly worthy of being called God level. After reading and understanding the power he had just received, Janguk immediately raised his hand to test it, followed by a blue flame appearing and spreading rapidly. Seeing this, Janguk ordered, "Summon Skeleton Warrior." After Janguk spoke, spiritual power was immediately deducted by 10. The flame obediently gathered back together at Jangyuk's command, gradually revealing a figure behind the flame. Jangyuk successfully summoned not the same Black Iron Skeleton Warrior as before, but a completely different one. All strength, agility, spiritual attacks, and physical stats have reached 75, surpassing the previous one. The aura of the skeleton has completely changed. While the previous skeleton warrior made others fearful and intimidated for being a non-living being that could walk and fight like a seasoned soldier, this Black Iron Skeleton Warrior now exudes the aura of a captain in an army, creating heavy pressure on those who see it. Jangyuk carefully senses the power emanating from the Black Iron Skeleton Warrior with both hands, then understands a few things. All attributes of the Skeleton Warrior have increased fivefold. Combined with the damage transfer skill, he will not stand at a disadvantage against opponents of the same level. The next day, at the beginner upgrade dungeon, Ko Yang waves and asks Janguk if he wants to team up. Janguk shakes his head in disagreement, and Ko Yang angrily grabs his hand and shouts, "You think you're too good to team up with me? I sincerely want to invite you. If you don't give me a good reason, I will not give up on my intention." Janguk turns back to Ko Yang and says, "Teaming up slows down progression, solo progression is faster." Suddenly, Seolnai appeared, nodding in agreement with Janguk. What Jangyuk said is very true. When two people are in a team, experience should be shared. Based on the experience of the predecessors, those below level 10 are suitable for solo battles, while those above level 10 are more suitable for teaming up. Ryuk-an stood behind the three and said, "Besides Seolni and Janguk, other leaders with extraordinary abilities always bring support into the raid, not necessarily for solo battles. You will understand later on. Bringing support into the raid is indispensable, at least for now when you are still students. There won't be a situation of fighting." Someone in the crowd asked, "Why don't these two need to bring support along?" Ryuk-an explained immediately. Seolnan wants to enter Xingajing Academy, so she needs to level up quickly. Besides, she is an elemental mage. As for Jangyuk, I don't understand her extraordinary abilities, nor do I know how powerful she actually is. You can ask the support team to see if she is willing to form a team. Everyone expressed their disagreement. One said, "I'm afraid of those skeletons," while another said, "I also think so." Seeing this, Janguk put the school badge on his shoulder and said, "Principal Ryuk-an, I also want to take the entrance exam for Xingajing Academy." He thought to himself, "I also want to take the entrance exam for Xingajing Academy, but applying individually suits me better." After speaking, he added a point to his spiritual power. Principal Ryuk-an was surprised and said to Janguk, "It's impossible. Do you know how difficult it is to pass the entrance exam for Xingajing Academy? To pass, you must at least reach level 12 before the final exam, and it's safer to be at level 15. My sister, Rim Hai Jin, reached level 16 last year and was recognized by Xingajing Academy." He continued, "In just a short week, it's not easy to reach level 12, let alone level 15. Even in the beginner's dungeon, the highest level monster is only level 8. It's impossible to reach level 12, let alone level 15. Apart from the levels, there may be other conditions that you'll only find out during the final exam." Janguk maintained a determined look and said, "I believe in myself." Ryuk-an was satisfied with his response and praised, "Well done." He thought to himself again, if this kid is a hidden extraordinary abilities, he might actually have the ability. Seolnai stood in front of the gate and turned back to look at Janguk. "Let's see who levels up faster. If you don't speak, I'll take that as a yes." Janguk scratched his head in embarrassment, the strong desire to win. Then Janguk also stepped inside the newbie zone. Janguk was trying to upgrade his level while thinking to himself, "Last night I summoned a skeleton set, lost 10 spiritual power points, went through a night of contemplation, restored 40 points of my spiritual power, and summoned 4 more skeleton warriors." After saying that, Janguk let go of his staff and summoned while commanding them, "Go search and kill monsters." Another skeleton set successfully killed a giant rabbit, adding 10 experience points. Janguk calculated, every time a skeleton warrior kills a monster, my experience points will increase by 1%, killing 100 will be enough to level up. Then each of the large rabbits became experience points for Janguk. Seeing this, Janguk was happy inside. "This efficiency is too high. In just a few minutes, my experience points have increased by 10%. Janguk successfully leveled up and exclaimed, "It only took half an hour." Jiang Yu continued his quest to earn experience points, summoning 2 level 2 Skeleton Warriors. Jiang Yu happily thought, my attributes have increased again. The number of Skeleton Warriors has now become 8. The effectiveness of monster killing keeps increasing. This is just the beginning. Just like that, the bones began to help him level up quickly. Kill level 2 Gray Fur Cat, experience plus 20. Kill level 3 Brown Dog, experience plus 30. Kill level 4 Blue-Eyed Rat, experience plus 40. While the bones fought, Jiang Yu stood contemplating. It has a function like that. The activity traces of the Skeleton Warrior can create a map. Jiang Yu looked at the paper and thought. Then Jiang Yu felt like there might be a monster that the Skeleton Warrior had let in. Just so he could test his active skills, Jiang Yu pointed at the creature that the Skeleton Warrior had let in, Soul Blaze. The creature was immediately paralyzed by the blue light. Damage multiplied by 5 times. Level 2 Brave Fur Cat can only be killed in an instant. The cat monster could only lie flat on the ground for Jiang Yu to gain experience. The spiritual attack is too strong, surpassing any physical defense magic. The hidden extraordinary abilities are truly supreme. With just these 2 skills, even without talent, the magic necromancer will definitely not be weaker than any legendary extraordinary abilities. Thinking that Jiang Yu's level had increased, he exclaimed, level up again. Jiang Yu smiled contentedly and summoned Skeleton Warrior. One by one, Blue-Eyed Rat and Brown Dog were killed by Jiang Yu for experience. Jiang Yu thought to himself as he walked, at this rate of leveling up, I will level up again in less than an hour. The duration of the newbie dungeon is 12 hours, 4 hours have passed, and I am already at level 4. If I can directly level up to level 8, I will reach the outskirts of Xi High City where there are higher level monsters. On the other side, Ryukun and the man in a white shirt, Hadong Yang, head of the He family and Seal Ni's father, sat chatting with each other. Principal Ryukun asked, Mr. Yang, how is Seal Ni doing? Seal Ni's father replied, for the past few years, Seal Ni has been relying on Principal Ryukun. Principal Ryukun lifted his glass of water and said, I haven't done anything. That little girl is very hardworking, very intelligent. This awakened latent abilities is also extremely successful. I'm sure you already knew early on she is a rare elemental mage with extraordinary abilities. Seal Ni's father looked up at the sky and said, it's a pity I was too busy yesterday. I couldn't witness Seal Ni awaken latent abilities. In the picture are 2 girls with rare extraordinary abilities, Mr. Yang said with a lost voice. This time can't miss the first sub-boss of the little girl. Ryukun said again, in the past, both Sochilan Xiao and Rim Hai Jin were rare extraordinary abilities. Stepping out of the newbie sub-boss were level 5. I think Seal Ni probably won't lag behind much. Father Seal Ni said anxiously, just hope so. Since childhood she has been eager to win, loves competition. Ryukun looked at the man and added, from their initial leveling speed, we can roughly estimate how many levels they will gain in the following days. If Seal Ni hasn't reached level 5 on the first day, then it will be difficult for her to enter Xia Jing Academy. He pondered for Jiang Yu. I don't know how many levels Jiang Yu can increase. Hidden profession probably won't be low. After entering the sub-boss, everyone will start counting down the time, automatically exiting the sub-boss after 12 hours. Let's wait and see how many levels they will increase after 12 hours. On the screen is a warrior who passed 12 hours and was forced to return to the real world. Head of his family wondered, oh, I heard that at the Awakened Latent Abilities event yesterday, the school also revealed a hidden extraordinary abilities. Yes, the extraordinary abilities that Jiang Yu Awakened Latent Abilities is Magic Necromancer. I haven't met them before, so I don't know if they are powerful. Ryukun added, Jiang Yu's sister is Rim Hai Jin. If Seal Ni enters Xia Jin Academy, maybe Hai Jin can help her. In the next scene, the sky was dark. Jiang Yu was still trying to accumulate experience. The farthest distance a Skeleton Warrior leaves me is 500 meters. Within this range, I can safely level up. The Skeleton Warriors brought Jiang Yu a lot of experience. It had been almost 7 hours, and he still hadn't encountered a level 8 monster. Jiang Yu worried. I wonder how many levels they have gained. As Jiang Yu continued walking in the forest, something suddenly attacked him. He was surrounded by a green light, the passive skill damage transfer activated. Facing the bulwark tree, Jiang Yu silently rejoiced, finally found a level 8 monster. His face was serious. This is a level 8 monster, comparable to the wild monsters in the sub-dungeon. The Skeleton Warrior's attributes have reached 275. Let's see if you can withstand my attacks. After that, the skeleton monsters took turns attacking the tree, but to no avail. Jiang Yu exclaimed in surprise, no way, it didn't just die. Jiang Yu then pointed at the tree, ordering the skeletons to attack the bulwark tree. 4 swords are needed to kill an 8th grade monster, so my leveling up progress will slow down significantly. Finally, I managed to kill the Bullwhip tree. Jang-uk, without calculation, rejoiced. Unbelievable, I only saw 1 Bullwhip tree. There must be hundreds of them. This place is truly a special leveling up sanctuary for me. The skeletons began to attack the Bullwhip tree, gaining a lot of experience. Amidst the purple vortex, a figure appeared. Someone is coming out. How strange. It's not the right time yet. Couldn't it be a problem? Rook unworriedly said, the exit of the instance dungeon must be found by passing through the 8th grade Bullwhip tree monster. Could it be? Suddenly, the figure revealed itself to be Jang-uk. Rickon asked in confusion, Jang-uk, why did you come out? Jang-uk simply replied, I killed everything so I came out. Headmaster Ryukon was astonished. You, at level 7 already? He immediately thought, in just over 10 hours, he reached level 7. Jang-uk put his hand in his pocket and said, there are too few monsters in there, otherwise I could reach level 8. Teacher Ryukon, I want to go to the outskirts of Xi High City. Principal Ryukon stood still. It's the first time I've heard of someone clearing all the monsters of the newbie dungeon, and in just 10 hours. How did Jang-uk do it? He must be a magic necromancer. Ryukon forced a smile. Okay, I agree. I'll give you the approval letter. Go rest for a while, wait for your classmates to finish, and then I'll take you home. Around them, people whispered, why didn't that student go out first? Is there a problem? He didn't get hurt, did he? Why is there no one from his team with him? Seolni's father turned to say, Ryukon, what happened just now? Ryukon held a glass of water confidently and said, he is Jang-uk. He already cleared the newbie dungeon and killed all the level 8 monsters in there. Many people were amazed. How powerful are legendary extraordinary abilities? I have never seen them before. I don't know, but legendary extraordinary abilities are extremely rare and definitely not as effective as that. Another person added, that's right. Based on that, the magic necromancer's abilities surpass all rare extraordinary abilities that we know of can be completely compared to legendary level extraordinary abilities. Someone exclaimed, truly can extraordinary abilities if the magic necromancer levels up and becomes formidable then. Ryukon turned to Seolni's father and said with a smile, the future of this kid is truly limitless. We don't need to worry about what happens next. If he can pass the Seojing Academy entrance exam, then Seojing Academy will truly be in for a headache. Dong Yang added, little Seolni has always been ambitious since childhood. This time I'm afraid he will have to face some challenges. Ryukon placed his hand on Dong Yang's shoulder and said, haha, not just this time. I'm not often at home, so I didn't know, but for the past few years, Jang-uk's achievements have always been above Seolni's. The girl has been in second place for 3 years now. Seolni's father chuckled awkwardly and said, is that so? Then he thought, this kid doesn't tell me anything. Jang-uk sat on a rock wall contemplating. Currently, the number of Skeleton warriors I have summoned has reached 24, but the summoning space has increased to 70 empty slots. It seems that to fill up the summoning space completely, it will take quite some time. When Seolni confidently stepped out and looked around, seeing no one, she said, this time I'm definitely not losing. I've reached level 5, the same as the record of the beginner deputy. Jang-uk. Suddenly spotting Jang-uk sitting against the rock wall, Seolni froze. Weird, when did this guy come out? Wait, him? Seeing Jang-uk had reached level 7, Seolni immediately felt defeated. How could he already be at level 7? Seeing Seolni, her father waved his hand. Seolni. She was surprised. Dad, why are you here? In Seolni's mind, she was always thinking, how did Jang-uk reach level 7? In the car, her father asked, are you competing with that kid? Seolni looked down and said, that guy is really annoying. He's been better than me for 3 years, Dad. Do you need to help me? She firmly said, no need. This is my own matter. I won't lose to that idiot forever. Her father replied, haha, okay. But I have to tell you, Jang-uk left the beginner level after only 10 hours, and he even killed all level 8 monsters to get out. Seolni looked at her father with a surprised expression. Dad, you killed all the level 8 monsters. Seolni thought, I just arrived at the level 7 monster area, haven't seen any level 8 monsters yet, and he's already been out for 2 hours. If there are more monsters, he might have leveled up to level 8. Meanwhile, Ko-yang hugged Jang-uk and asked, how did you level up to level 7? Jang-uk, no, big brother Jang-uk, can you take me to train too, please? Seeing Ko-yang clinging to him, Jang-uk just promised, next time, for sure. Ko-yang's face lit up and he said, decision made then. I'll wait for you at the school gate tomorrow. The next day, Ko-yang asked the principal disappointingly, Principal Ryukon, why hasn't Jang-uk arrived? Ryukon turned to Ko-yang and replied, he went to the outskirts of Xi High. Realizing he had been fooled, Ko Yang shouted, "Jang Inuk, you lied to me. I have to challenge you." The principal stood aside and said, "Give it up. You shouldn't fight back." At Shengsea Empire Exchange, where there are skyscrapers, a hand is placed on a red stone. Check if the mission of Empire Exchange is suitable for you. After checking the mission, Jang Inuk was excited. This mission is also interesting. The prize is a lot of gold, so it may be a bit difficult, normal difficulty. An image of a person in a hoodie fighting a monster appears. The difficulty of the dungeon is divided into normal, nightmare, and hell. The difficulty of nightmare has exceeded normal several times. Without a strong team, almost impossible to fight. The difficulty of hell is not a place where ordinary, extraordinary abilities can come. After considering, Jang Inuk immediately thinks, "It seems that this mission cannot be accessed temporarily." A knight asked, "Jang Inuk, level 7 Magic Necromancer. What kind of extraordinary abilities is Magic Necromancer? Which school is this? Level 7 has agreed to go out of town." After a while, his out-of-town proof took effect, and the knight kindly reminded, "There are many monsters outside. Be safe. Must be careful, especially at night. When encountering danger, you can run back. Preserving life is the most important thing." Jang Inuk nodded after listening. "Thank you. I will be careful. Inside and outside the city seem like two different worlds. This wall is not simple. Even the distant roar of wild animals can be heard in the air. It seems to smell fresh blood." Jang Inuk carefully observed. Suddenly, a rough foot appeared, something hiding behind a tree looking towards Jang Inuk. Jang Inuk seemed to have noticed and immediately ordered Go deal with the monster in front. The monster also noticed and leaped at Jang Inuk. Jang Inuk calculated in his head, level 10 monster in front of a Scale-Ton warrior with attributes reaching 375 is no challenge at all. When the Scale-Ton warrior appeared, the monster was surprised knowing it couldn't fight back. It hastily tried to escape but was too slow. Then a group of monsters appeared, but Jang Inuk was only busy thinking, the resistance of a level 10 monster is only this much. Based on the leveling speed before the final exam, it might reach level 15. One by one, the warriors killed many rare creatures. Jang Inuk was lost in his thoughts, but from the final exam, I reached level 16. How did I achieve that? Jang Inuk thought of someone, that is Rimhai Jin, Jang Inuk's sister. The girl has shiny long black hair, a gentle smile, and Jang Inuk remembered the scene of her sister coming home and asking him, "Jang Inuk, what you want to eat today, I'll make it for you." He closed his eyes and promised himself, "I will definitely pass the Xia Jing Academy exam, sis." Finally, Jang Inuk reached level 10. He thought to himself, other attributes didn't change much. Each level up increased by 10 points, but my spiritual power has reached 300 points, increasing by 120 points. They all say after level 10, there will be a biggest boost in spirit attribute. I belong to the extraordinary abilities mage. The biggest transformation is in spiritual power. Unexpectedly reaching level 10 so quickly, my innate skills have also become stronger. Scale-Ton warrior also leveled up to bronze. Jang Inuk was still immersed in his careful calculations. The bronze Scale-Ton warrior has reached level 10. The strength of the skill spiritual attacks, everything has very high scores. Not only that, the bronze Scale-Ton warrior also has an active skill backlash. Jang Inuk excitedly looked at his Scale-Ton warrior. It seems that with a bronze Scale-Ton warrior, I can dominate this area. Looking around, Jang Inuk couldn't see any monsters. Confused, he thought to himself, "It looks like I've taken care of all the monsters around me." Suddenly, arrows started flying towards Jang Inuk from an unknown source, increasing in number. The Scale-Ton warrior began to realize they were under attack. Suddenly, a mysterious figure with only white hair and sparkling red eyes revealed themselves. Jang Inuk speculated, "It must be this person. No, wait, it seems like they are extraordinary abilities guests. Attacking me must be extraordinary abilities escorts." The girl ran away, leaving Jang Inuk and the Scale-Ton warrior standing there. Suddenly, two strange figures appeared. It was them. Jang Inuk quickly pulled out the arrow. Seeing them go in a different direction, he thought to himself, "Wrong direction. I thought they wouldn't chase after that guest." The blonde person looked at the black-haired person and said, "That person is very cunning. The guest has escaped." The black-haired person asked Jang Inuk, "Hey, kid, did someone in black clothes run past here just now?" Jang Inuk turned around with a sharp look in his eyes. "You hit me with that arrow, I apologize." Around Jang Inuk, there were countless arrows stuck in the ground. The curly-haired man in a blue cloak reluctantly apologized. "Sorry." The remaining person is still holding a large golden scepter in hand, thinking, "How did this kid manage to hit my arrow without any reaction?" Jang Inuk raised his hand and said, "You can't do that again." The curly-haired man looked at Jang Inuk and nodded, but thought to himself, "Does this kid not know that my mood is not good right now?" The dark-haired man then said, "I am a Scale-Ton warrior." The Scale-Ton warrior stood in front of Jang Inuk. a summoned, undead monster. The curly-haired man frowned in disdain. Only the heinous responsibility of late offenders, dark psychology, can awaken and summon this undead monster. This name definitely does not signify anything good. The curly-haired man stopped the dark-haired man and said, "Don't start trouble." The dark-haired man gritted his teeth, turned around and said, "Fine." They then left together. Jiang Yu watched them leave, still emitting a green energy from his hand, thinking, "Consider yourselves lucky. If you dare to act, I will retaliate 100-fold." And with that, the green energy on Jiang Yu's hand also dissipated. Killing level 10 monster patrols, adding 300 experience. Killing level 11 monster patrols, adding 350 experience. Obtained monster bones. Countless monsters rushed in, were all killed by Jiang Yu, gaining experience for himself. Jiang Yu sat on a rock seriously thinking. Experience becomes scarce. After level 10, to increase a level, need 3 times more experience, calculating need to kill 5,000 monsters to level up. Even Skeleton Warrior doesn't know exhaustion. Kept on killing tonight, still unsure if can reach level 11. Jiang Yu looked at the sky, gradually turning dark. Time is limited, cannot go back. To pass the Xianjing Academy entrance exam, must strive harder than others. Thinking so, Jiang Yu jumped into the midst of monsters with Skeleton Warrior to kill them. Now the sky is completely dark, based on current leveling speed. Might reach level 13 tomorrow, unsure about reaching level 15 the day after. After level 15, leveling speed will decrease, losing another day to return, so can possibly reach level 16 at most. Jiang Yu was resting by the campfire, pondering about the day. How did she level up that year? Even though she's a legendary sword dancer with extraordinary abilities, her leveling speed still couldn't surpass mine. I must have missed something somewhere. Jiang Yu tried to recall the day his sister leveled up Thai High Mine's dungeon. She always teamed up with others to tackle a challenging dungeon for more experience, so that time she returned injured. Jiang Yu remembered his sister's condition when she returned, covered in wounds everywhere. His guess must be correct. Jiang Yu clenched his fist. "I'll check it out tomorrow." As the sky darkened, the stars twinkled above with occasional wisps of smoke from the campfire, drifting into the sky, carrying leaves with them. Suddenly, footsteps approached, catching the attention of Jiang Yu and the Skeleton Warrior. It was someone from extraordinary abilities. Leveling up at this hour was rare. They must have gotten lost. The image of the white-haired girl flashed in Jiang Yu's mind. He was amazed. It was her. The girl came closer and asked Jiang Yu, "Do you have any food?" Jiang Yu handed her his food. She smiled and accepted it before pulling her mask back down, revealing a beautiful face. Jiang Yu watched her eat hungrily and thought to himself, "Is this person starving to death?" Because she ate too quickly, she choked. Jiang Yu took out a bottle of water. The girl took it and drank it, saying, "Thank you." After finishing her drink, the girl smiled at Jiang Yu and asked, "What's your name?" Jiang Yu looked at her and didn't want to talk. Seeing this, she said, "Don't like talking, huh? Well, can we use analyze skills together?" The girl and Jiang Yu touched their fingers together, creating a rainbow light. Analyze skills became ineffective. Jiang Yu looked at the notification in shock. Analyze skills are no longer effective. No information can be obtained. The girl smiled at Jiang Yu and asked, "Ha ha, is there really nothing?" She looked up and saw the information in front of her. It turns out his name is Jiang Yu, grade 10, with extraordinary abilities as a magic necromancer. The girl, puzzled, said, "I've never heard of extraordinary abilities. It's so strange." She then remembered the Skeleton Warrior next to Jiang Yu and said, "This afternoon, I think I saw the skeleton next to you. It's a summon that you have, a summon of an extremely rare undine creature. Why didn't you say anything? Don't tell me you're mute. You don't look like it." The girl waved her hands in front of Jiang Yu. He remained silent and only asked, "Why?" The girl clapped her hands happily. Jiang Yu didn't answer, but glanced at her and repeated his question. She told Jiang Yu that he wanted to know why his analyze skills were ineffective because of this. The girl laughed and placed a round object in front of Jiang Yu. It was a blocking badge, just carrying it. Those with the rank 10 levels lower than him using analyze skills on him would be ineffective. It was a round medal with a red gemstone attached on it. The girl took the medal away. "Now use analyze skills on me." Jiang Yu followed. Name Ninsei Kyung, extraordinary abilities, Shadow Assassin level 19. Jiang Yu looked at Ninsei Kyung, Shadow Assassin level 19. Before Jiang Yu could say anything, suddenly he noticed 3 people surrounding them, the 2 guys he met in the morning and an additional black-haired person, all wearing blue cloaks, seeming to be allies. Skeleton Warrior had spotted them. They wanted to surround him and the girl. Just return the result, no explanation needed, nothing else. No useless quotation marks or punctuation unless necessary. Nin Se-kyung stood up and said to them, "It's not over yet. It's not just a mid-level skill book. You've been chasing me for days and still won't give up." Nin Se-kyung turned to Jang Uk and said, "I'm leaving now and we'll meet again in the future." At that moment, a black arrow flew towards Nin Se-kyung. The arrow grazed her stomach quickly, but strangely, it spun around both of them. Finally, red arrows appeared above the heads of Jang Uk and Nin Se-kyung. The arrow was pointed towards their heads, but stopped there without moving further. The black, curly-haired man laughed happily. Nin Se-kyung worried, "This arrow marking is troublesome." Jang Uk thought, "The arrow marks the skill of anti-camouflage, which can mark a target and make the opponent more visible, unable to enter a hidden state. It specializes in countering the camouflage skills of assassins and some hidden monsters. It seems they are prepared for us." The blonde man chuckled triumphantly as he looked at Jang Uk and Nin Se-kyung. "This time, you can't escape." Around Jang Uk and Nin Se-kyung are surrounded by three men, a curly-haired man with a bow sitting on a tree looking down at them, and two others below. Jang Uk looks at Nin Se-kyung. Nin Se-kyung holds a knife in a defensive posture and says to them, "He is not involved in this. I can hand over that book to you. We can go our separate ways." The curly-haired man looks down at them and laughs. "If it were a day before, then of course it wouldn't be a problem, but now we feel like killing you would be more secure. The dead cannot talk forever. No one would know. We have intermediate level skills in our hands." Nin Se-kyung is on guard against them while telling Jang Uk, "I will block them in a moment. You run away." Nin Se-kyung thinks he's only level 10. I can't let him get hurt because of me. Jang Uk looks at Nin Se-kyung and asks, "What about you?" Nin Se-kyung turns towards Jang Uk and smiles. "I am a shadow assassin. The night is my home. I have my own way of escaping." Jang Uk thought, if she can defeat them, then during the day there is no need to run away. Obviously, the opponent's strength is very strong, let alone this girl is also hit by a marked arrow. The invisibility skill is also ineffective. Nin Se-kyung, holding two knives, stared at the group of people. The curly-haired man shouted loudly, "The night is long. Don't waste any more time. Take action." The blonde hair raised his scepter and said to Nin Se-kyung, "Today, not only will you die, but that guy won't survive either." He displayed a light projection technique, creating a large sphere of light above his head. Light projection technique can not only be used for illumination, but also to dispel darkness, increase the accuracy of my spells. Most importantly, it can also counter the stealth skills of the target. The blonde hair laughed, "You thief, today you will surely die." Nin Se-kyung, a little worried, said, "I have to risk my life." The other three opponents also displayed their spells. The curly-haired man drew his bow. The black-haired man held a shield and dagger. The blonde-haired man held his scepter. Jang Uk and Nin Se-kyung were surrounded in the middle. At this moment, Jang Uk calmly summoned a skeleton warrior. Go. Suck. Wasting effort. Summoning an immortal being really makes people feel disgusted. My blazing fireballs is a level 20 wizard skill. Watch as I turn you all into ashes. Saying that, the blonde hair unleashed a giant fireball towards Jang Uk. Quick, run away. At this moment, Nin Se-kyung grabbed Jang Uk's hand to escape. Nin Se-kyung looked in disbelief at the string binding her legs tightly. Since when did this spiritual power string? At the same time, Curly Hair shot 3 arrows at once towards them. Try my triple shots with triple the damage. Nin Se-kyung looked at the arrows coming towards her. It's over. In reflex, Nin Se-kyung pushed Jang Uk out to protect him from the arrows. Then a fireball was launched towards her. Just as she pushed Jang Uk out while Nin Se-kyung was still stunned, 2 Scale-Ton warriors stood on either side to protect her from the arrows, and at the same time, another Scale-Ton warrior shielded Jang Uk from the fireball. The incoming arrows were all blocked by the Scale-Ton warriors using swords, and another Scale-Ton warrior used a shovel to push the shield bearer. He was immediately thrown far away. The Scale-Ton warrior with 2 axes emerged from the flames, their golden hair standing in disbelief. This? How can it be? Analyzing skills. That wimpy guy is only a level 10 magic necromancer. Don't come over here, he exclaimed in fear. I'm a level 21 mage, he's only level 10. How can we not defeat him with just one spell? The curly-haired and black-haired individuals also expressed their fear. What is this? Our skills are completely useless against those summoned creatures. Why do summonses have such high attribute values? The 3 of them were surrounded by the green flames. The blonde-haired individual paled in shock as thousands of Scale-Ton warriors appeared around them. Nin Se-kyung also gasped in astonishment. Those are truly the Scale-Ton warriors we've seen before. They clearly look fearsome. How can they be so powerful as a level 10 summon? Even a level 20 mage and the skills of archer couldn't hurt them, and there are too many of them. Nin Se-kyung looked towards Jang Uk, who closed his eyes. You. Before she could say anything, Jang Uk's eyes opened, his eyes also emitting a blue light. The information board appeared. Name, Jang Uk. Extraordinary abilities, Magic Necromancer level 10, experience points 0%, power 100, agility 100, spiritual attacks 300, physicality 100, no equipment, summoning space 44 out of 100, skill ton warrior, quantity 44. Along with the appearance of the information board, countless scale-ton warriors also rushed forward at Jang Uk's command. Comprehensive growth talent level 2, only passive skill damage transfer, active skill soul blaze level 10, summon scale-ton warrior level 10, comprehensive increase level 2, efficacy of all skills increased 10 times, summon scale-ton warrior level 10, summoning a bronze scale-ton warrior. The blonde-haired individual used his power to create a pink shield as soon as he saw the scale-ton warriors rushing towards him. But before he could breathe a sigh of relief, one scale-ton warrior rushed forward and used his sword to break the shield, leaving him shocked and sweating. The shield shattered, forcing him to step back. He then raised his staff, emitting a bright red light around him, pushing the scale-ton warriors to retreat. He lifted his club and shouted, "Taste my power!" The blow seemed to have no effect on the skeleton warriors. Before he could strike back, the skeleton warriors continued to rush forward, raising their swords to attack him. He can react in time, just muttered, "What?" The skeleton warriors swung their swords at him. A black-haired man with a headband looked terrified and thought, "Just one move. Only a few seconds have passed. My agility attribute is clearly over 1,000. Why can't I dodge these skeletons?" He ran away, but the skeleton warriors chased after him, leaving him with nowhere to hide. The short black-haired man kept blocking the attacks of the skeleton warriors, yelling, "Attack, attack." He was holding a shield and a sword, surrounded by a yellow shield, making Jang Uk amazed, saying, "Extreme defense, I didn't expect the knight to possess this skill." Jang Uk thought to himself as he watched him, "This is one of the core skills of a knight. A defensive power will become extremely strong in a short time. A level 20 knight displaying this skill can withstand attacks from a level 40 mage. Knights holding extreme defense and knights not holding extreme defense are like two different extraordinary abilities." The short black-haired man fighting and sweating, thinking, "Why are these scale-ton warriors so frightening? If only I had known earlier, I wouldn't have come just because of a mid-level skill book and lose my life." At this moment, Jang Uk raised his hand and said, "Use the blocking skill, don't let him escape." While speaking, Jang Uk thought, "Don't let him escape. If we're going to kill, let's kill them all." The move Jang Uk unleashed was a fierce blow. With the ability to create 200% self-damage power for the target, its power was 1,500. Jang Uk gave the order and all the scale-ton warriors were strengthened. Their bodies emitting red light, they advanced and cracked the black-haired man's defense layer, making him panic and exclaim, "He even knows how to use skills." He looked at the scale-ton warriors rushing up and thought, "Extreme defense lasts for a minute, but enduring such intense attacks during that time will shorten it." Unable to resist anymore, his defense layer completely disappeared, and the scale-ton warriors immediately surrounded him, causing him to panic and say, "Damn it." At that moment, Jang Uk remembered his sister's words. "Jang Uk, remember, if you're not going to do it, then don't. But if you're already doing it, don't be lenient." Seeing this, Nin Se-kyung said, "He's going to kill them all." Nin Se-kyung was surprised, thinking, "He doesn't even move a finger." After seeing all the attackers had died, Jang Uk thought, after extraordinary abilities die, the objects in the storage space will fall out. Let's see what those guys have. Jang Uk immediately assessed the items he had obtained. Firstly, there's the bronze rank Carmen's staff. This staff enhances spiritual attacks by 20 and increase the power of mage skills by 5%, usable after level 18. The second weapon is the bronze rank Carmen's battle bow. It boosts agility by 20, can enhance archery skills by 5%, usable after level 18. The third weapon is the bronze rank Carmen's shield. It increases physical resilience by 20, can strengthen defensive skills by 5%, usable after level 18. The final weapon is the bronze rank Carmen's sword. It increases strength by 10, resilience by 10, can boost spell attack skills by 5%, usable after level 18. Se-kyung, standing beside him, looked at these items and remarked, "These are all weapons dropped in the dungeon of Carmen's Orc Legion. It's a level 20 dungeon on the outskirts of Xi High. They must frequent that dungeon for loot." After learning about the functions of all the equipment, Jang Uk immediately wanted to collect everything. Each item turned into smoke and entered the portable storage on his person, the purple item behind Jang Uk's back. Then Jang-uk pondered, these 4 pieces of equipment may not be useful, but I can probably sell them for some money. Jang-uk held a beginner skill book and thought, this book is worth 10,000 gold, extremely valuable. Should I sell it or keep it for my own use? Sekyung beside him remarked, you probably don't have any beginner skill books yet, so you can use it. Although there's a chance you might learn skills you already know, you could also learn new ones. Beginner skill books can teach skills up to level 20 and may include skills you've already learned. Nin Sekyung continued, but are you thinking of selling it for money? Are you sure on cash? Beginner skill books aren't that expensive, not worth much. Upon hearing this, Jang-uk thought, seems like 10,000 gold isn't a big deal to her. Looks like her background is extraordinary. Jang-uk nodded to Nin Se-kyung and then asked, how do I use it? Nin Se-kyung laughed mischievously and said, it's simple. Just hold the book and say Su-dum. Jang-uk listened and seriously held the book, saying Su-dum. But after a while, nothing happened and Nin Se-kyung continued to laugh by his side. Nin Se-kyung continued teasing, oh, that's not right. Your voice is not loud enough. You have to shout louder to use it. Jang-uk, not believing her, thought, it seems that using spiritual power to enhance the skill book. He then infused his spiritual power into the book, which emitted a bright golden light swirling around him. Se-kyung scratched her head and said, how did you figure that out? You failed badly. The new skill Jang-uk acquired was Corpse Explosion Level 1, a violent skill that detonates a dead body, causing damage equivalent to 10% of the target's health points within a 1-meter radius. The book in Jang-uk's hand burst into yellow flames. Jang-uk thought, with this new skill, this book is invaluable. In the eyes of a magic necromancer, even a dead body has life. Although this skill seems weak, considering my talent after enhancing my damage output, it can reach up to 10 meters. With just one detonated dead body, I can continue to explode new enemies, making it an unstoppable group attack skill. Thanks to my talent, all skills have almost become divine skills. Beside him, Nin Se-kyung immediately asked, did you learn any new skills? Jang-uk turned to reply, I did. Upon hearing Jang-uk's voice, Nin Se-kyung said, your voice is pleasant to listen to. Why don't you like to talk? It's such a pity. Jang-uk glanced at Nin Se-kyung and thought, this girl seems different for the other students in school. Jang-uk responded, your voice is also nice. Nin Se-kyung blushed and said shyly, thank you for the compliment. I also think my voice is nice. Then Se-kyung handed Jang-uk a suitcase and said, remember to save me, Se-kyung, and compliment me. I'll give you this. Inside the suitcase is a mid-level skills book that can awaken skills from level 40 to level 70 with the ability to acquire existing skills. Upon seeing it, he thought, a mid-level skills book? This can be sold for 1 million gold at the Empire Exchange, 100 times the price of a beginner skills book. This item is too valuable. She must not have been hunted for the mid-level skills book. Why would she give this as a gift? 2 people continued to sit by the fire. Nin Se-kyung was warming her hands by the fire and said, I found a lucky treasure chest in Carmen's dungeon in Shaohai City. This type of treasure chest appears randomly. Just as I caught it, I opened the chest and got this intermediate skill book. Se-kyung remembered the scene of discovering the chest and opening it. The chest emitted a dazzling golden light. Nin Se-kyung continued, I didn't expect those guys to spy on me. They wanted to steal all my skills. Although this item is not worth much money, it was difficult for me to obtain. How could I easily hand it over? So they chased me. That's why I ran away. I ran away for 2 days from Shaohai City to Xai. Tell me, are they bothering you, like those insects? Jang-uk sat down next to Nin Se-kyung and said, you almost died. Nin Se-kyung replied, don't worry, I didn't die. When facing life-threatening injuries, I will automatically be teleported. But still, thank you. If it wasn't for you just now, even though I didn't die, I would have definitely been injured. You have to know that being injured is very painful. Se-kyung is most afraid of pain. Nin Se-kyung hugged her trembling arm as she looked at Jang-uk. Seeing Nin Se-kyung like that, Jang-uk immediately thought to himself, looks like she's overprotective. She must be the owner of some valuable treasure, absolutely untouchable. Se-kyung held out her hands to Jang-uk and said, give you the intermediate skill book. Do you have any food? People are still hungry. I don't want food to fall from a dead person. I want sweet potatoes. Jang-uk then handed a sweet potato to Se-kyung to eat. Se-kyung asked Jang-uk while eating, are you here to train levels? Your level probably hasn't reached university yet. Where are you planning to take the exam? Jang-uk replied, Saiyajing Academy. Se-kyung, eating her sweet potato, replied, oh, Saiyajing Academy is good. Then she thought to herself, based on his strength, it won't be a problem for him to enter any university. How can someone at level 10 easily kill someone at level 20 with extraordinary abilities? And with just 3 of us, if he can't pass the exam for Xinjiang Academy, It's unlikely that anyone else can pass either. Nin Se-kyung remembered Shemsa Tower as a black tower emitting a creepy red light. Nin Se-kyung continued to talk about Saejing Academy, so there could be a lot of accumulation points at Saejing Academy. Accumulation points are even more useful than gold. In Saejing Academy, there is also a Sheng Guangshu Yuan. If possible, you must go there. The two continued chatting until midnight. Nin Se-kyung fell asleep. Jae-mook immediately covered her with his clothes and meditated to restore his spiritual power. The next morning, when Nin Se-kyung woke up, rubbing her eyes with one hand and holding out her other hand, demanding Jang-yook's sweet potatoes. Jang-yook, I'm hungry. Do you have any sweet potatoes left? Jang-yook handed her a few. She hugged them tightly, but still reached out and continued to ask. Not enough yet. Can you give me more? Men and women should be generous. Give me all of it.